Yes, welcome. As usual, I usually answer questions from my email at this time. So I'm checking on the questions that are on my email. Questions that are on my email, I'm checking on them. Today we did a topic on attention deficit hyperactive disorder. Yes, Uncle is here. Welcome. It's a question time. Question answering time. Questions from the email. I want to answer questions that I've sent in my email. Better or question. Hope everyone is okay. It's and the day wherever you are is rolling so slow and nice. So there are several questions that come to my email after I've done a topic, and I did ADHD today, attention deficit hyperactive disorder today, and that's what I want to check. Are any questions? I answer them. I answer the questions now. Okay, let's take Onyx is here. Onyx is in the house. Welcome, Onyx. And anyone who has a question, you are invited to ask any question as you continue. As I answer these questions on the email, you are invited also to ask your question. Yeah. Before we started the topic, I can see it was the first. What is ADHD? What is attention deficit hyperactive disorder? And I said ADHD is a neurodevelopmental complication. It affects the brain from the time you are conceived in the uterine world to the world outside. So ADHD is a neurodevelopment disorder that affects attention, impulse, control, and activity levels. Onyx and the Jamaican uncle, the first one in the chat, thanks you for tuning in. It is often begins in childhood and may continue in adulthood. Yes, it is often begins in childhood and may begin to adulthood. So attention deficit disorder by right now is a mental complication, but it's not psychosis. So don't confuse this with psychosis. Psychosis is something else. Maybe a person who is schizophrenic can be psychotic, but with this one, it's different. I can see people are still coming in. If you are coming in, welcome so much. Welcome to the platform. Welcome to the platform, everyone that is coming in. Can see several people that are coming in. Uncle is here. Onyx is here. So I don't want to fail people by not answering their questions. So I want to answer their questions about attention deficit, and thank you so much for those who are sharing the platform. When you are sharing, you are bringing more people to the platform, and it is increasing the strength and the growth of the community. So thanks for those. We have seen several new people that are in the house and the chats, and they ask questions and they interact. So if you are a new person who is here, feel free to ask any question and interact. You have a Facebook? Yes, it's called just like this, Benjamin the Wise Guy. My Facebook is Benjamin the Wise Guy. So if you are new to the platform, leave a message. Say, I'm new here, what's going on? And the people at the chat will interact with you. So let's continue about this topic. And tomorrow we have, tomorrow we will do staging, how to stage ADHD. And categorize. But for tonight, what we are doing is, let's get to answer the questions that are in my email, and then we say good night or good day, because some people where they are it is good night, and here it is good night, somewhere else it is good afternoon. So what are the main types of ADHD? I introduced them today. The main types, I introduced them today, and I said in Asha Travels is here. Welcome. I'm Asha Travels. I'm answering questions that are in the email. The people that send me questions in the email, sometimes going and writing all thanks a lot, going and writing those emails back is a lot of work. So it's better just go through them as I answer. Someone can relate to this video. There are I introduced, okay, I'll be in the background. Thanks. I introduced the main types of ADHD today. I can see more new people in the channel. Welcome everyone who is here. Welcome. This channel, we talk about health issues, most likely mental health issues, and we relate to everyone. So if you are new and you are watching, this is your first time, please tell us where you are from. Where are you watching us from? As you pass by, some people just pass by. If you pass by, leave your like, subscribe, at least subscribe. Let's interact with the people that you see at the chat. Today I'm answering questions about attention deficit hyperactive disorder. Attention deficit hyperactive disorder. That is what I'm answering. I'm answering questions about that. So guys, stay around. Don't just come and go. At least stay around and see what I'm doing. It can help. So the questions I'm answering are from the people that were in the other video today, 2 hours ago, 2 hours or 3 hours ago. So they some of them sent email addresses and I'm answering them. So what are the main types of ADHD? What are the main types of attention deficit hyperactive disorder? The main types are inattention, poor concentration, and forgetfulness. That one we will do it tomorrow, but let me just answer that. Hyperactive and excess movement and restlessness. Hyperactive, excess movement, and restlessness. We have impulsivity, acting without thinking. Impulsivity. When I was talking today, I said about someone buying something from the market without thinking, and then you are left with nothing, and you had gone to buy. Read you, yeah, Bob Marley. Read you. Where are you from? Read you. There is someone who is called Rudy UA 420. Bob Marley, what's up? What's up with Bob Marley? Read you. Which country are you from? Please tell us. I'm answering several questions here about Indonesia. Yes, Ross Green. Greetings, brother Benjamin. Wise guy. Welcome, Ross Green. Read you. One day we'll travel to visit Indonesia. Leave your like, read you, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I've got some questions, so I'm answering them. The questions that are from my email. You can stay around as I answer questions and check what my channel is doing. It has good content that you can go through. So the main types of attention deficit hyperactive disorder, what people call ADHD, is inattention, hyperactivity, excess movement and restlessness, and impulsivity, acting without thinking. Inattention, poor concentration, and forgetfulness. What causes ADHD? That is what several people are asking. I have several people in the email address that have asked what causes ADHD, and I said it's genetics, differences in brain development. If you have any question, as I answer this, you can ask any question you have. If you have any question, please just ask as I answer these questions that are in my in my inbox. So several people asked what causes ADHD. I think they came late when I was still, I had introduced, and I said this, genetics, it runs in families, differences in brain development, neurotransmitter imbalance, especially dopamine and norepinephrine. And then we said environmental factors such as prematurity or prenatal exposure to alcohol and smoking. Prenatal, not post. Prenatal is when a mother is carrying the baby in the body, and then you are drinking alcohol and smoking. So it kind of like disturbs the cells when they are creating the baby, and then you get a person is born with destroyed neuron tubes when they are developing. So you get ADHD. Let's get that question was really asked by several people. So you get to know its genetics, and the other thing is what you eat, what you drink, your lifestyle. When you are a mother and you are carrying the baby in the womb, it may cause your child to be born with ADHD. The other thing is when we talked about autism, you remember it. You can, as a mother, your issues, lifestyle when you are carrying the baby can cause your baby to be born with ADHD, inclusivity of genetics. Is ADHD caused by bad parenting? 3 people asked that. Is ADHD caused by bad parenting? No. Bad parenting cannot cause attention deficit hyperactive disorder. This is a physical neurodevelopment. So you cannot make your child to have that. You get? If you have a question, don't keep silent, my guys. Whoever who is watching, where you are, don't be silent. Come on and ask a question. Ask a question. Ask something. Interact with people that are listening here at the chat. Ask something. So several people asked that. So it cannot. Bad parenting cannot cause attention deficit hyperactive disorder. Which part of the brain is involved in ADHD? We said mostly the one that is made for decision making. Is food a factor on it, and does it come later in ages? Is stress a lot factor? Is stress also a factor, my brother? Yes. When let me answer this, then I go back to my email. Forgiveness is underrated, is in the house. Forgiveness, have you given a like and shared? Please, if you're coming in, your likes are important. They make the video have an impression. So food is when you eat foods that are teratogenic, like vitamin A from proteins at high levels, they can bring it when you have a genetic risk of getting. You get forgiveness. Listen to me. If in your family you have a genetic predisposition, and then you take some foods be teratogenic. Teratogenic means when the child is being born. Bubbly, Dr. B, hi. Hi, Bubbly Beth. I'm answering some questions on ADHD. Welcome, Bubbly Beth. I'm happy to see you here. So when you take those foods like retinol is vitamin A from animals. When you take them, they can cause the excitement if you are predisposed genetically. But stress is not a factor if genetically you are not predisposed. If you are born with it and you are living a normal life without one noticing, and then one day you come having stress, it will bring out down. It will show that you've been born with it. But if you don't have stress, you will be calm. So food and stress no. Stress also only shows that you have it. But food may. Some foods may. Yes? And that's why you get some doctors, they discourage some mothers when they are going to the clinics, antenatal clinics, not to take a lot of vitamin A, retinol, but leafy vitamin A from which is carotene, it is okay. Now, I hope that one, forgiveness is underrated, I've answered correctly for you. If you have answered correctly, please tell me. Bubbly Beth, welcome. Say something. I can see you here. And today we are not playing music. I could play something, a cool music for you. I saw the title. I have ADHD diagnosed in adulthood, but was born with it. Just learned how to mask very well. Yes, Bubbly Beth, good. It comes out when you are born with it and you have lived in a good way up to adulthood. You can be predisposed to some things that can show you that you are born with it. Like what? Stress, some foods, some things that you do in life that can affect you, like smoking, alcohol, they can bring it out. But if you are not doing those things, you can live well without having it. You get? And then, we said it is diagnosed with MSD. Medical Statistical Diagnostic Tool for Psychiatry. If you are not diagnosed with that tool, maybe it is not it. So we continue. The frontal part of your brain is where you have decision-making part. So it is called the frontal cortex. Most of ADHD, the brain is affected at here. But there is something called basal ganglia and dopamine pathway. Dopamine and norepinephrine, they are the ones that control your mood and activity. They are called neurotransmitter. If you are here and you didn't watch that the video we had 3 hours ago, please go to my live, watch that video. You will understand these pathways well. Alright, let's go to another question. If you have any question and you are in the chat, please just ask, because this is time for asking questions and I'm answering the same questions that have been sent in the email. Is ADHD more common in boys or girls? That was a question that brought serious problem. What kind of stress, Ben, like normal or specific type? No, all. When you are stressed, forgiveness is underrated. Forgiveness is underrated is asking what kind of stress. I also have EUPD. What kind of stress, Ben? Like, when you are stressed a little bit, you are depriving serotonin and dopamine to be released. So if you have ADHD and how we talked about it, when your dopamine and serotonin are not being released and you have stress that is even suppressing them more, the symptoms will come out so ugly. You get? So forgiveness is narrated all type of stress. I have EUPD as well as ADHD. Do those outcome together? Not always. They don't come out together it depends with the situation. Neurodevelopment, let me tell you guys, neurodevelopment means it is not character. When you have ADHD, you need to understand that this is not character. This is something that involves the brain development. You get? It involves the brain development. So that is where people go wrong, because it's okay. It's all right, Bubbly Bed. I understand. This is where people go wrong. Greetings to you all, good, and you? I'm fine. I was diagnosed with EUPD after trauma as a child, but ADHD was diagnosed many years later. Yes. Now, EUPD is kind of like emotional thing. but ADHD is neurodevelopment, the brain development. So you can have EUPD without the brain development problem, brain physically being disturbed. You get my point, Bubbly Bed. But with ADHD, it's a neurodevelopment problem that you are with it before even you are born. It started when the conception began. So they are totally different. You get, okay, I'm unlucky and have both, but they don't always come together. Yes, they don't always come together, but they are managed. You see, if you are, you know their stages. Tomorrow I'll be talking about staging and how to know which stage it is. So Asumana, welcome to the chat. Everyone who is new here, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. If you have a friend or a relative who is undergoing these things, it is important to share with your friend these videos. It is important so that people can understand, because some people mistake some others by saying person has a bad character. No, it is not character. When I'm talking about autism, when I'm talking about ADHD, I'm talking about neurodevelopment of the brain. It is something that the brain, so it needs to be managed medically. But some people don't understand that. They take people that are undergoing through this, that some people say they have bad characters. You hear some people saying, I can't stay with this person. This person has a bad character. He was brought up in a bad way. No, it is because they don't understand. They don't know this is not character. It is something that this person was born with. So it is good, my friends, my good friends that are watching here, please be sharing these things. Yes, autism spectrum disorder is not a personality trait. It's how the brain has developed in the womb. Yes, very important. It is how the brain, even ADHD, I said, when the blastocyst is implanted in the uterus, the migration of the ectoderm cells, when they are forming the neural tube, they are disrupted. So some cells are left behind, and then the disorganization of the brain brings these imbalances of neurotransmitters. So it is not a personality trait. Many people don't know that, and that's why I come online to tell people these things so that they can know. Please share these videos. We want people that have specific problems are suffering because the public don't know. People are suffering because public don't know, and they are taking them in the wrong way. But when these people are diagnosed and people understand, they will try to live in harmony with these people. So it is time to answer questions. So welcome everyone. Check if you have subscribed, if you have liked. Very important. It's very important. Let's check out. Let's continue with the question. If anyone has another question, be free to ask any question. If you are here, be free to ask. Don't say that you can ask anything. My email address is always open. You can share there anything. Like the ones that I'm reading after we discussed the ADHD, the ones that I'm reading are the ones that people sent today. Let me see. Oh, we said boys are more prone to ADHD, especially hyperactive type. 2 of my boys have ADHD and 1 autism spectrum disorder. I believe strongly it's genetic. Does any belief have merit? Yes, when it is genetic. When you see 2 of your boys and they are medically diagnosed, and you as the parent, you are medically diagnosed, you know it is genetic. Bubbly Bet, we did that. I think we'll revisit the 2 videos that we did that are explaining how genetics come in autism and ADHD. You get? In autism and ADHD. So there are some clusters that we use to know to set that this is autism and this is ADHD. You get? Okwemba is here. Welcome, Okwemba. So if you have not seen those videos, please, the three core types that we said: social involvement, reciprocating order of a person who has autism, you get, and repetitive rigid behavior. The three core things that say if this person does not have the three, that is not autism. You get? And attention deficit also has got its own kind of diagnosis. Yes, we all are diagnosed, and so is my mother. Yes, that is genetics, bubbly bed. But you know how now, because you know and people know around you, you manage well and you live okay with other people. So boys are more prone to ADHD. Girls have more inactive symptoms but can be underdiagnosed. Boys, they have active, hyperactive, but girls many times have inactive symptoms. So you may not recognize, and most of the girls, they go underdiagnosed. So another question that came out is, can adults have ADHD? Can adults have ADHD? Yes, adults can have the symptoms: disorganization, poor time management, impulsive, and difficult completing tasks. Adults have, and you see the people that we are talking with at the church, most of them are adults. And I've seen from Babri Beth, I saw several too that said I have. So this is real. This is real. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the channel. Don't just move out. Listen a bit, and then we interact. You know, interaction helps people to grow emotions, to be having good mental health. When you speak with some people and you bring it out, you feel relieved, you manage whatever that is you are struggling it with well. Get? But when you keep silent for yourself, you don't have these things. You know, is ADHD the same as autism? That is, someone asked. ADHD is not the same as autism, but both are neurodevelopment conditions. But you may find that some people have both, just like Babli Beth has said, he has diagnosed with EUPD and ADHD. So you can share both. It depends with the destruction of cells on the time, the second week of formation of a baby in the womb, the second week, when the ectoderm cells are migrating to form a neural tube, and where the damage was. So you can get both. How is ADHD diagnosed? That is a question I really repeated. Doctors use medical development history, behavioral assessment, but mostly the criteria of diagnostic statistic management of psychiatry, DSM-5, volume 5, to diagnose. And also reports from social groups, parents, teachers, at home, at work. You get? There is no single blood test or brain test can tell you this person is. So it needs proper training for you to diagnose and to know what you are looking for. That's why psychiatrists are trained for. You get? They are trained for this. Okay. Anyone with any question, as I go to the next question, you can ask. At what age is ADHD usually noticed? At which age? Mostly it is at age 12 to 15, when this kid now is knowing himself. You get? When this kid is knowing himself. You know, those are the ages that these kids are diagnosed. Okay, let's go. Is ADHD linked to intelligence? No. It's not. Does not mean low intelligence. No, it doesn't. People with ADHD can have average high and high IQ. So it is not linked to any intelligence. What do people with ADHD start tasks and not finish them? It's because they are struggling with neurotransmitters. Because we are starting something, dopamine is not released in the brain, so the sustainability of the action you are doing cannot be maintained. Serotonin is not released, norepinephrine is hanging, so you cannot sustain a reliable, sustained attention, organization, motivation and regulation, executive function is not sustained. This is common ADHD related difficulties. Sometimes even brushing, doing some little things like writing becomes a problem. Why? Neurotransmitters in your brain are low, are hanging, and they are not. Yes, Beth, welcome to the platform. We're talking about ADHD. They are not being released as per needed. You know, the brain is trained to release these neurotransmitters in a beat. When you are excited, you remember me saying, when I was saying a woman or a man looking at a handsome or a beautiful lady, then the image is copied to the brain, that it releases some amount of dopamine, then you feel goosebumps. So that sequence in people who have ADHD is not there. It is interrupted. So you start something, then you hang, because the image has gone, but the translator in the brain is hanging. The neurotransmitter is not released. So ADHD causes emotional problems a lot. Someone has asked here, can ADHD cause emotional problems? Yes, people with ADHD have EUPD, most of them. Even you've seen Bubbly Beth that has tested. Frustrations, low self-esteem, anxiety, and mood swings all times. Mood swings all the times. You get? So these are the things that we were talking about, and you know the question as they are coming, we are just relating with what we were talking 3 hours ago. Let me get to this. What condition commonly occurs with ADHD? Which conditions? As we talked, you remember we said sleep problems, attention disorders, anxiety, learning disorders, depression, oppositional defiant disorders. All these they come, and we will learn about them. Anxiety disorders, opposition defiant disorders. They come. Anyone with a question, my friends and emotional complications, they are there. How is ADHD treated? Most of ADHD is behavioral therapy. Although we have not reached to treatment, let me just say, behavioral therapy, school support, parenting training, medication like NRIs inhibitors, fluoxetine. When someone has become so aggressive, you can give them fluoxetine. Lifestyle changes so that you cannot increase more ADHD that is coming from your brain. What medications are used for ADHD? Atromexetine. Caris, hi doctor. Hope you are doing good, Caris. I'm answering questions from my email about the week that we were with. Greetings, the ADHD topic 3 hours ago. Amphetamine preparations, they help to stabilize. Methylphenidates, you remember those ones we talked, and it is not curing, it is stabilizing this person's mood. So don't confuse curing with stabilizing the mood. Atromexetine. mood stabilizers, antipsychotics. Sometimes for people who are so aggressive, they can be given, and they are giving us, you are having ADHD, but you are showing us some characters of psychotic. We can give you antipsychotics so that you can be stable. Someone asked me, long time use of these drugs can cause psychosis, someone to be like a psychotic. I said no, because the doctors look at the grams that they are given, and they look at the milligrams that they are given. You see, can that cure ADHD? No specific diet can cure. You know, it's a neurodevelopment. Someone has asked that, but healthy nutrition can help. Sleep and exercise may help symptoms control. Enough sleep can help symptom control. So if you are here today, my guys, if you are here and it's your first time here, it's Benjamin the Wise Guy channel. I'm Dr. Ben. We discuss medical issues. Right now we are discussing about mental issues, and this is ADHD that we are on. I'm answering questions. If you are there, you have questions, please ask. If you are there, you have any question, please ask. Some symptoms, can ADHD improve with age? Yes. Some symptoms improve over time, especially hyperactive ones, but attention and organization difficult. You may control me doctor, I'm thinking a lot. You have stress. What is happening? I am Karis. Which side are you chilling at? Are you thinking because of work? Are you thinking because of what? This is a different topic, but thinking is always can give you depression. So ADHD, some symptoms improve over time, like hyperactiveness, but attention and disorganization and difficultness to concentrate is a problem. It's a problem because it depends with the neurotransmitters in your brain. Unless, it's a neurodevelopment thing and you were born with. So when you are born with it, you understand, it brings more problems. Healing is a problem. We cannot get into the brain and do the cells. Cells are micro. We cannot reorganize them. What strength can people with ADHD have? The strength that these people can have. Many people with ADHD are creative, energetic, innovative, good. Intellectuality of these people is always at par. So those are some of the questions. I will not read more questions or all of them, but those are some of the questions that people asked. And is anyone in the platform having any question that can ask? Anyone in the platform who has any question, who can ask any question? I'll give like how many minutes? 10 minutes. Anyone with any question? Those are some of the questions that I was asked. Anyone with any question or any additive, if you can add anything to what we have said. If you can add anything or you have a question, I'm trying to make people understand difference between ADHD and other complications. Because some people think that some people have bad character. If you check very well on the people that talk about people have this complication, they usually say that these people have bad character. If someone tells you that, no, that one, I cannot stay with that person. That person has very bad character. Now it is time to help people to understand that there is a difference between a character and neurodevelopment issues that are, and it is always, and if even you can understand, because you can understand that if this person was is okay, yes, can this character change? This is not a character dating. This is something that is brain damage. So the complication cannot change. You live with it and know how to manage it. Character is different, because character is acquired according to the social upbringing, but neurodevelopmental issues is not acquired. It is a pathology that started from your mother's womb. So it cannot change. It is very hard to change. It is very hard to change. So it depends with how you stay with it and how you manage. There are some things that you cannot change, you see. So any other person, I hope everyone has understood between what these two things, character and things that someone was born with. So that is it. I'm just giving time for anyone who may come in and ask any question before I log out. There I feel like going to rest early. Anyone who may come in and ask any question. So that's it, guys. I think I've answered those questions. So let's meet tomorrow as we continue with the topic of autism, of ADHD, on the grading. And bye bye. See you. Have a good day.